Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, and guys, welcome to another edition of the Hard Truth Show. This should be stream number 35, and we're going to be covering tonight the New World Order's template, pretty much Agenda 21, 2030, however you want to stack the deck. That is going to be the conversation topic for tonight. I'm hoping to cover this in a way that I won't get another community guideline strike, because I'm still on thin ice right now with the current strike that I got. And just real quick, want to say shout out, shalom to everybody. Shalom to you folks as well under the Seven Domes. Let's see here. We've got, we got folks from all over the country in here tonight. Central Florida, Ozarks, looks like Texas, Georgia. Shalom, love to everybody. See, I just heard about the graphene tattoo while waiting for Luke to come on. I voted on 1 year. Maybe I'll be wrong. Looks like it's here. Yeah, guys, there is, let me, while waiting for Luke to come, pause this other stream I've got going here so I can keep up with y'all's poll. I've got a poll that is set at the top of the screen right now, and I'm checking it out over on the other YouTube link that I have pulled up. It looks like folks are voting already there. So far, the votes that's going in is that we're already at the New World Order. I think I put for an options 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, pretty much a decade, or we're already there. And people, I'll go back and check that about midstream. And then at the end, we'll see how everybody's mind rests on that. My vote, I couldn't vote on my own poll, but I was going to throw a year up. I think we're somewhere between a year to 2025, from where we're at right now to 2025 when AI becomes fully autonomous. I think that's where we're going to be at. Real quickly, guys, just a couple quick shout outs. I'm going to do our affiliate shout outs later after sunset. If you guys have not checked out my content over on Odyssey, there is a link in the video description now where you can go directly over there and subscribe so you're not missing my content. If you didn't see the last stream, that was about disarming America, the final purge of freedom, because they need us disarmed before they can institute what I'm talking about tonight. Like I said, tonight's topic, we'll be talking about the New World Order's agenda. I'm going to break that down for you. And then if you haven't got anything planned for tomorrow, New Moon Day, make sure to pop in. I'm going to be covering Roe versus Wade overturn, what it really means for the future. And I could not help myself where I was talking about The Handmaid's Tale recently. I had to get the one where that people that were supporting Planned Parenthood were in the Handmaid's Tale outfits. So I used that for my screen cap. I just could not help it. But just FYI, I'm not pro-abortion at all. But there is a reason that that got overturned, guys, after what stood for 50 years. There's a reason it got overturned, but I don't want to give a spoiler alert. Just come and check it out. Also, that last stream that I got in trouble for, that was stream number 31, I think about a month ago now. If you missed that, you can check that out over on Odyssey. I encourage you to check that out. Because that is some fire content, guys. And I know people's asked where it went. It's still available on Odyssey. It's going over here on YouTube. Shout out to United and y'all. That event was great the other day. If you missed it, I highly encourage you to go over and check it out. I think there might be a possibility that you can watch it post-stream. But I talked about preparing for the Seven Trumpets of Revelation. And I think I'm actually going to take and cover that over here on a Hard Truth Show stream a week or two from now coming up. I think that would be a great review for a lot of people that's new to the channel, because I've covered this a lot over the years. That's what this channel is about, preparing for the Seven Trumpets of Revelation. But I think it would be a good recap. So I thought about that after doing that for United and y'all. So I'm going to do that over here in a stream coming up. Also, covering the New World Order tonight, lest we forget the Georgia Godstone prayer meetup for the fall of the New World Order, guys. That's coming up the 31st of this coming next month. So don't miss that opportunity to fellowship together. I'll be out there at 12 Eastern time. I'm going to do a little mini documentary about the Georgia Godstones. I'm also going to be there for a prayer meetup with everybody in fellowship and pray that wicked place gets destroyed along with this construct of the New World Order. Cannot wait to see the Master's Kingdom get set up. With that said, I've got one last shout out we need to do here, and then we'll do the affiliates later. If you want to follow this channel and you want to especially follow the Hard Truth Show, I encourage you to download this app. We stream on the Lunisolar Scriptural Biblical Calendar Sabbaths. I stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on new moon days, we stream at 12 Eastern Time noon. Okay. So you can catch me on here on the stream. Check out a few more of these comments real quick, and then we're going to get right into it. Shalom, got North Carolina, some more Georgia folks, Louisville, Kentucky, Vancouver, Canada. Shout out to Canada. See what else we've got. Somebody said, I don't believe it can be implemented as long as we have the Second Amendment. Yeah. Hey, John Heath. If that's John Heath, I know from Bass Pro, shout out to you, my friend. Yeah, and that's why I covered definitely about the firearms being removed. Lucas, maybe at the end of the show, could you show us how to reach side of your wife's shirts? I tried Googling, can't find. Thanks, brother. Your shirts are awesome. A link to her shirt shop is in the video description below, and I'll be covering that later, also doing the shout outs and stuff. The United States will not be under dictation of the New World Order. Well, Nick Ale, I hope that you're wrong, but I sure see it going the other way, guys. But hey, that's okay. We can all agree to disagree. And somebody said, World's Last Chance has great content. Yes, they do. Absolutely. All right, guys. So without further ado, I'm going to take a drink of water here, wet the whistle, and we're going to get this party started. So first off, let me back up. I'm ahead of myself on the slides. Now, I only have 4 slides on this tonight, guys, because you're going to see me a lot on here tonight instead of the slideshow, because we're going to go down this bullet point. All right. Because I don't want to be spending time clicking slides. I want to be going right in on it. And I can tell you this stuff off the top of my head without needing to have like a picture image up. All right. So Agenda 2030, all right, which I think really in the beginning was Agenda 2021. They had to just move the thing on down the line a little bit. Is that if you look at the overview blanket, all right, this is what you will see sold to you. And honestly, in the overview, it's a beautiful looking thing. Let me say that again. It's a beautiful looking thing, but it's lipstick on a pig. All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to read through this sustainable development goals. All right. And then I'm actually going to show you the manifesto sheet. I think it's the cover page of it. And then we're going to go to the bullet points and work through it. All right. So everybody just bear with me. Here we go. No poverty. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I don't want to see nobody struggling, you know, and I've said this, I think, before, and I don't make no apology for it. I'm not a racist. And when it comes to race, I see it as the human race. Now, we're all different colors of melanin, and we come from either Shem, Ham, or Japheth, from Noah's lineage and all the way back to Adam. But we're living in a time where there's 2 types of races of human beings. There's damaged DNA and non-damaged DNA. If that makes me a racist, then I guess I am a racist at this point. But it's not because of somebody's shade of melanin or color. I love everyone in this world. But we have to understand that we are living in the time as of the days of Noah, so shall the coming Son of Man be. And there was DNA being damaged in Noah's day and hybridized human beings. And we are dealing with that in our time right now. And so, you know, I said all that to say this. The one thing I would be classified as is a classist. I do not like the so-called elite rich, and it's not because they're wealthy. It's because that they are the people like Bill Gates, excuse me, that think that they can decide our future. They can poke us with poison and kill us and exterminate us and do what they want with us. That's why I would define myself as a classist. Okay. I want to see everybody getting a win, but the problem is our so-called elite are not for us. All right. Now the next thing is zero hunger. I think that's a wonderful thing. So that, you know, people won't be without food. That sounds like, I mean, all these sound great on the outside, but I'm going to actually get into the heart of the matter. See, this is like what's sold to the masses, but then we're going to get into what I'll show you what is actually being done. Good health and well-being. Hey, I mean, this is good stuff. Quality education. I want everybody to be able to read and write and think. Gender equality. Sounds great too. You know, man or woman, I want people to be treated with respect. Now, I ain't into this 57,000 genders. Okay. You need to take you a trip to the bathroom, take a look. And when you go to the bathroom, you're either a man or a woman. And if you need to go and figure that out, just Google male and female anatomy. You can get you a little education on that. Bring yourself up to speed. All right. Because a lot of people's confused out here in the world today. All right. And shout out, bless everybody. Love y'all too. I hope this content's always helped everyone that watches it. I really want to see people won for the kingdom, folks. because whether I make it or not, I'm gonna keep working in the harvest. My only option is serve Master Yah, and that's absolutely my only hope anymore. I have no hopes, dreams, aspirations anymore. It's just to serve Master Yah. Hey, shout out, brother. I see some friendly faces in the building that I know and love. Clean water and sanitation. There you go. I mean, who doesn't want clean water? Next up, we have affordable and clean energy. Hey, for somebody that does off-grid power, hey, I'm all for it. Next up, we've got decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, absolutely, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnership for the goals. These all sound great, but the problem is these little colorful school chart images and stuff that would like excite children and the older people like myself alike. This is not what's going on here. All right. This is what is given to the masses. Now, what is actually going to be going down is right here, the United Nations General Assembly. If you look at the resolution adopted, this is on 25 September 2015, is the transformation of our world, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Now, if you want to go look all this stuff up and read it, it's all fine and good, okay? But I'm going to go down the bullet points of what we're really going to deal with. Here we go. Fire comment for tonight right here. We are the carbon they want to eliminate. There you go. There you go. That's exactly it. And I'll be covering that at the Georgia Godstones when I go down at the end of next month to do that mini documentary. I'm so excited about that, not only for a prayer meetup, not only to meet up with people, hopefully that, follow the channel. I think that'll be exciting. I hope that a lot of people come out and support that. But not only that, I'm excited to finally be able to stand at that place and do that mini documentary to wake people up. I think that's going to be, I think it's going to be really important. So as we go down this, the UN Agenda 2030, and do you not always love how that the UN's flag is a flat earth azimuthal equidistance map? I just think that's so funny that they just put it right there in everybody's face, right? And here you have the, don't forget from the World Economic Forum, you will own nothing and be happy. Hey, got some folks coming. Cindy, hey, shout out to you. That's awesome. Look forward to meeting everybody that day. So we're going to go down this and the bullet points, and shout out to Jackie Hanna, 3 years away from full-blown New World Order. Best guess, roll out 5G, November to trigger zombies, praying for all. And thank you for the $10 donation. Guys, if you want to super chat, if you want to make sure I get your comment, or something you're wanting to share with me, you can use the PayPal link in the video description below, guys. That helps the channel, helps me, and I appreciate it because we're pretty much almost at the point where that it's just viewer-supported content here. I'm just saying YouTube has really been cruel here in these last years to my channel. But make sure to hit the like button, share this, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I know folks have hit the notification bell and YouTube's still not sharing it, so hey, just by all means do so. And Alicia, I actually have considered doing that. I got to see what the service is. See, that's the problem. I don't want to tell you all I'm going to do something and then lie to you, because if I tell you I'm going to do that and then I get down there and I don't have no service and I try to live stream, I'm going to feel really bad about that. I don't know on that. If I got service, I'll by all means try to do that. I think that would be great. All right, guys, so let's start and work our way. I think what I really want to do is I want to work this list from the bottom up, okay? So please bear with me. First off, and I think that it is paramount to understand, is that we're on a route to the banning of natural, non-synthetic drugs and medicines. You have to understand something, especially I've learned this over the years with using essential oils, that you can't even use certain verbiage anymore sharing essential oils with people. You cannot suggest certain things to people to use. There is just there is a lot of flack that comes down on, like, listen, I was told years ago I was going to have gallbladder surgery. I took lemon, grapefruit, and lime oil for 3 days, and I passed those gallstones. It was disgusting. And I'll never forget. I went to run in the bathroom to take a picture of it, and my wife at the time, she was like, "No, don't you dare do that. That's just disgusting." But I was just like so excited to prove that they worked, and I know that's a little disgusting, but I'm just saying, like, I was so happy that the natural things healed me because I didn't have to get cut on, and you got to understand that we're getting into the point in time where that the pharmaceutical drug sorcery that is being pushed, and Revelation 18, discusses this. We've discussed this in the past, especially I'm sure on videos that I've had multiple strikes on this channel, is that if you look at where we're arriving at before long, I've had conversations with multiple doctors over the years, asking them about using essential oils. Just one conversation. Just let's go on essential oils for a minute. Is that I have talked with doctors about it in the past from my dad's behalf, my wife's behalf, my behalf, and they're ignorant. They don't know how to use it. They don't know nothing about them. But yet the synthetic drugs that are given to people are literally copies of the compound that is found within natural plants, every herb of the field that was given by the Master Yah to heal people. So we got to understand that this is something that we all need to get a handle on. Just like I'm not a big fan of antibiotics. If I get sick, I use colloidal silver. There you go. That's awesome, brother. If that's what you were talking about a while back too, that you got from, I think it was wild over to mustard seed. That's awesome because I'm telling you guys, like pharmaceutical drug sorcery, getting cut on, all that stuff, that's off the table for me. And absolutely, thank you for sharing that, brother. And so as we look at things continuing to progress, and for those that come in the building tomorrow for what I'm going to cover on Roe versus Wade, you're going to really see why that I start this list backwards working forward, because what you're about to see post Roe versus Wade being retracted is going to be a wild ride in the near future. And just real quickly, I'm going to pop over. So the votes currently are rolling in, and it looks like the majority of the votes hold it at 47% that were already there on the New World Order. I'll check that again later in the stream, a time or two more, but it looks like most people feel like we're already there. Next up, we have restricted land use and end of single family homes. I forget, was it Songbird, I think was that recent movie that was out, and I might be wrong on the name of it, but they were like, return to your domicile, return to your domicile. And they don't want anyone owning homes anymore. Actually a single family to actually even get in a home anymore is insanity. Like I'm sure people that scroll Facebook and social media have seen those memes pop up at times that says that it's ridiculous that people qualify to pay $1,500 a month for rent, but they don't qualify to pay $500 a month responsibly for a home that they could actually own. There is a system being put in place, and it's not so much to make the rental places rich as I think it is to break down the sovereignty of a person having a home. Because right now, if the world fell apart, as long as I have some off-grid power and a few more things straightened up, taken care of, I can be self-sufficient here on my farm and land. But that's the thing. They don't want you to be able to do that. They want you to be dependent upon the system. And here's the thing right there. Don't take too much colloidal silver. That guy took way too much. Believe me, I've took a ton of it, guys. I ain't turned blue yet. So just saying, don't sweat that. Matter of fact, the more I get in the sun, the more brown I'm getting. And right there's another great point. This is why I love Brother's comments. No home, no family either. That's right. Now, moving on. The other thing about that is the more and more that they can raise interest rates, the more that, everything, the cost of living is going to go up. It's going to work in their favor to restrict people from having land anyway, because that a lot of houses are going to be repossessed because people can't live in them. And so this is definitely going to work toward that end indirectly, just via banking system and the monetary fiat policies that's in place right now. Into private farms, livestock, and irrigation. Now, I don't even need to sell y'all that one, because if you haven't seen how many food processing facilities, farms, and everything else that's been destroyed in this past year to damage the food supply, I don't know what to tell you, because they are definitely trying to hurt the food production in this world. and especially in this country to the point where people's going to be at point of starvation. I mean, it is definitely moving toward that direction. And I don't want, I think I meant to fact check this. So somebody fact check me on this. Yeah, somebody here said right there, that's another one right there too. Like 3,000 cows died that suddenly. Like I've had a few cows die on the farm. That stuff just doesn't happen, folks. I've raised livestock ever since I was a child. I can speak to that. All right. And it just don't happen. So there was something going on with that. But the the more and more that they push and the cost to operate farms, the cost going up to get equipment, the cost to pay workers, many farms are just not going to make it. I'm telling you. And the more and more people that walk away from farming, the more and more harder it's going to be to feed people. I mean, like the situation difference between the Great Depression in the past to now is even in the Great Depression, people raised crops, they grew a garden, they hunted food. Nowadays, nobody grows a garden. So, I mean, if something happens, you are in a bad spot. And somebody said right here, over 100 facilities in the past 12 months verified. Yeah, John, I'm telling you, like the list is growing and growing and growing. It's getting crazy out here. But you need to expect that. And the sooner that they can get things moved over, what I was saying about the fact check is Bill Gates. I think he is the largest farm owner as far as acres, hectares, whatever you want to say. I think he owns the most now. And that's scary because, like, I don't want him telling me what to eat and plant-based and all this crazy stuff, man, or fake meat and all that they want to sell. This is getting really weird really fast. Now, next thing is settlement zones, concentration of humans in cities only. And I would also say that if you look at the FEMA Rex 84 stuff that's been talked about in the past, and actually Brother Ron Dalton, when I was on his documentary that if you didn't see that on Hebrews to Negroes Network, H2N TV now, H2N.TV, I believe it is the new website for his ministry stuff. If you looked at that, where he shared that in there when I was talking about Rex 84, and then you break down like the 10 districts and stuff. I mean, this stuff's like right out of freaking Hunger Games. They want to get it to the point. It kills me how people's like, oh, the world's overcrowded. And I'm like, dude, I drive across the country. Like, guys, folks, in the last like 30 something days, I've drove from California through the night all the way back to Tennessee. I've drove from Tennessee to Florida. I have like covered a lot of territory and just in the past calendar month. And I can tell you that there is plenty of room in this country for a lot of people. There is plenty of room in this world for a lot of people. And it's just nuts. And they want everybody into the cities so they can depopulate you. They can control you better. It's real simple. I mean, this stuff is just so simple. And you break up people into regions and districts and cities, herd them in there like cattle. And the next thing you know, they do with you whatever they want. And that is, somebody said, don't let the American dream become a nightmare. Start from the ground up while the children are young and help. You can buy land less than a month's rent. Yeah, and I'm telling you, the thing is right now is that people don't understand generational wealth. There's 3 ways you can help your family. Number 1 is do not create any more problems. Whatever you're doing with your life, hold the line. Number 2 is have a life insurance policy. I have a life insurance policy so that if I die, my family, if they end up going and living under a bridge after running through all the money that's left for them, I don't feel bad for them because I set them up. Third thing is have a will, have a trust set up so that everything passes on to your family. Okay. And guys, there's a ton of comments going through the chat tonight. If you're wanting to reach me for sure, you can hit the PayPal link below, type out your message. I'm seeing it right here, live stream, real time on my phone. I'm trying to keep on point here because I can get distracted some of the comments. But if we consider upon the matter that we're trying to be removed from what is given to us and what has been inherited furthermore, because, I keep telling everybody that there's going to come a time, I'm afraid, that like the next pandemic, they tell you if you don't have the snake bite venom, that you can't go into the land tax, property tax office at your county clerk office and pay in the district where you live, county, whatever, and pay your taxes up. And after time goes by, then everything you have gets seized, right? So that is that's a crazy thought to have to even consider too. But I mean, they'll do whatever they need to uproot you later down the road. Believe me. So that's something that's on the to-do list. Next up, and I don't think this one comes as a shock to everybody, is that restriction of non-essential air travel. If the past 2.5 years hasn't taught you something about not being able to fly, I don't know what will. I literally was going to take my wife for our anniversary, our first anniversary to Paris, France, and that got put on the table, and that is still on the table, been tabled for a while. And I got Delta Sky Miles, I got free tickets, and I ain't flown in, dude, I ain't flown, and I can't tell you how long. I mean, literally, me and Brother Joel drove tandem back home, like I said, from the Mojave Desert in California practically to East Tennessee in about 30-something hours. We just drove it straight through, not to fly. I'm telling you, like, it's just nuts. But the time's going to come that the ability to go from one place to another freely is definitely going to be like really restricted and clamped down for good. And it's probably going to be Plandemic 2.0 when it kicks off. And if you haven't seen that video, like I said, that I have on Odyssey, you should go over there and view that. But long and short of it, the restriction of non-essential air travel, I mean, that's going to cut people off from whole sectors of the world. All right. So, you know, here in America, we're very gifted by the Most High to be able to just get in the car and go to most places. But now later down the road, if you want to get on about a New World Order's capital here, which is the United States of America, and you want to go somewhere else, you're going to be in a bad spot. Just saying. So that is something to keep in mind right there, guys. Now, next up is all businesses owned by government and corporations. Now, the consolidation of wealth just in this past 2.5 years is insane. Most people's that's less than oh yeah Blaze of Glory, absolutely. That's the one thing though, is that a lot of people's businesses have been consolidated down, bought out by corporations, absorbed in. Government has taken over a lot of different things along the way too, and it's going to be no surprise later down the road when you see like FEMA wrapped up with Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like we've seen that as memes and stuff over the years, but just wait till you see it as actual living reality. And that is something that the government wants to eventually, or the Agenda 21 2030 thing is to bring this stuff into line. Because if the corporations are own the businesses, and of course they're in line with the government, or the government owns the corporations and the businesses, they can do whatever they want to with you and not serve you or cut you off if they need to. Because ultimately, if you try to do like they did before the Berlin Wall fell, and you have like a parallel society, like I've talked about in the past also, is that in order to operate a parallel society, you need to be able to do commerce. You need to be able to have a whole nother society element running alongside the fascist society, I will say, because most all tyranny always turns to fascism, and fascism turns into absolute cruelty. So I just default anymore, and I just say fascism because that's, I mean, what was it? Somebody said something about Star Wars, and it was like, why is it when I watch Star Wars, it always ends up that it turns back to fascism? I'm like, it's not just Star Wars. It's in the real world too. I talked about it with Mayo, Stalin, and Hitler the other day about the firearms situation. I mean, guys, there's a line between conspiracy theory and seeing what's coming and reading the writing on the wall. And I no longer qualify as conspiracy theorist. Like, you can label me a new label, but that one just doesn't fit no more because, okay, the writing is on the wall. Literally, it's on the Godstones walls too that I'm going to film here soon. All right. So next up, we have in private transportation, no more owning cars, etc. Now, this is important because should the person lose the ability to navigate and move about freely, you can start to compartmentalize people a lot better. Now, I don't think that this one's actually going to iron out. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think what's going to happen is they're going to eventually get everyone the majority of people over to EVs, electric vehicles, which I'm not going to lie. I signed up for my Tesla truck because it had photovoltaic panels built in, because where that I need to get to with that vehicle, I literally can drive to back home and the thing can charge itself up independently of needing to hook it up to my off-grid power. And I had an agenda, my agenda, a Lucas agenda, all right, for purchasing the vehicle so that I could power the thing, because if I'm told that if I don't take the poison, the snake bite, or I don't take the mark of the beast, and I can't buy and sell, well, I don't have to worry about it. I can use the master's plasma orb in the sky called the sun to charge my photovoltaic modules that's built into my Cybertruck, and I'll drive my darn self wherever the flip I want. So that's where I went with that. But nevertheless, they want to remove people from being able to own a car and to be able to move about freely and et cetera, guys. So, I mean, that's something that we're definitely seeing. We're going to see moving toward that direction in the future. But now, like I said, I don't think they're going to cut everybody out from having a vehicle. It's just going to have to move you toward electric vehicles. And plus, with the electric vehicles, also apparently they're going to have a ability to shut them off too. Not a doubt in my mind about that. So anyway, next up is government-owned and controlled schools education, because we all have been sent through. If you're an 80s baby forward, you pretty much have been part of the school indoctrination camp set up by the government, you know, where you ride the yellow banana in every day through fences with barbed wire at the top and school security guards at the front, and it's going ahead and training you so that you can go into the prison industrial complex later down the road. And especially if you're not the proper melanin, some of these individuals, depending on what your melanin is, you're even more targeted to be sent into the prison industrial complex. And that wasn't meant to be a racist comment, folks. That's just I see the industrial complex for what it is. All right, it's a money maker. They don't care about us. Matter of fact, they don't care about you, whatever color you are. I might identify me as white. They don't give a flip about me either. Okay. No, I don't know if she posted that one up there yet, guys. So just hang on. Matter of fact, let me pause right here for just a second and give a shout out to our channel affiliates. All right, so let's begin. Mirror safety, guys. If you're trying to prepare for biological, chemical, or nuclear situations, I encourage you right here to definitely check this out, because Mirror Safety has some premium tech that is some of the best that there is out there. And they have a variety of options all the way down to tiny tots to take care of them. I mean, they've got it all the way down for babies, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now, next up, we have Faraday Defense. And guys, they have this from way up. Excuse me. There is something bothering my allergies tonight, guys, and I apologize. Faraday Defense has a vaults all the way down to small bags that I've got a review on it. I am still waiting. Guys, I have videos that have been filmed, and I'm waiting on YouTube to do approval on so that I can even post them public for you to watch. And one of them is a review of some Faraday Defense equipment. So just be patient with me as I go ahead and try to get them out. But like I said, they've got all sorts of shielding, and it does work. I literally tested it while I was on vacation. Called my wife's phone from the hotel phone, filming it with my phone, and it never rang. It's really cool. It would not let the signal pass. So that's outstanding. Now, next up, guys, if you haven't checked them out, and I will hold on, I will actually take the banner down for just a second here so you can actually see it right there, the little small battle box. You'll see a much larger battle box is come in the mail. Also have a Battlebox review waiting to be public for this month also, once that gets all straightened on the uploading thing and everything. But if you go over on the link in the video description below, you can get 15% off your first box if you use 7 Trumpets code. So I encourage you to check that out. Now, the next up is Pi. If you haven't checked out, a lot of people's investing in cryptocurrency right now. I'm mining it for obvious reasons to pay my electric bill, pay other bills. I turn it in, cash it in, buy preps with it. I bought firearms with it, etc. But this is interesting is if you mine Pi on your phone, and the app's free, links in the video description below. Please use my code 7TrumpetsPrepper as the referral code. They say that like by 2024, I think this that one coin each of Pi will be estimated value of $70. I think it was. So that's a great opportunity later down the road. Mine this with your cell phones when you're out and about. Save it, convert it over to your KYC wallet, and then sell it later down the road. I'm going on, I think, 200 Pi. So I'm really hoping later down the road that will be an opportunity to cash that out, y'all willing, and get some preps. And lastly, if you haven't checked out KingdomMindedCo, I know people's asking about the shirts I wear on the show, where to get the shirts, etc. It's my wife's t-shirt company. The link is in the video description below the video, guys, the link to it. And she's got a variety of shirts and also those bleach style shirts. I know a lot of the ladies like them nowadays and stuff. Definitely go over there and check that out. And any shirts you buy definitely helps support her. And I appreciate that because she is a stay-at-home mom now. And that's creating a industry for her. And also this is going to be one of the new designs that will be available at the shop that I helped her work on that design. So I'm really excited about that. And I'll hopefully be wearing that in next week's stream coming up, should be available. And I think that has got everybody for this week's stream on the affiliates shared. Yes. All right. So we'll pick back up here. I want to look at the comments real quick while I was telling everybody about the affiliates. Somebody said Tesla medbed facilities already up and running to receive healing energy straight V. Oh, weird. Oh man, I got to look at some. Dude, there's just so much stuff going on, guys. I can't keep up with it. Somebody said lots of bicycle mods available. That's right. Hey, Luke, I sent a PayPal and hope you can see my question. Let's see. I got a PayPal. Somebody just sent me a $5 donation from Crystal Harris. It did not say what you said in it. So if that was you, Layla, if you don't care, just post it in there. I'm keeping an eye right now on it, and I will make sure to answer your question for you because for some reason it did not put the rest of your message. And I can also look it up later, though, and hit you back. Somebody said the end of stealing. Gotta fend for yourselves. That's right. People need to buy containers to hold fresh water. Absolutely. Let's see. Money talks. Shalom. Hey, shalom, brother Dorian. Always great info, bro. I appreciate that. Somebody said I want a pure blood shirt. Let's see, Lucas, can I get your Pi code? My Pi code should be 7 Trumpets Prepper. Let me look on the thing right here real quickly and scroll down, guys, and then we'll pick back up on what I was discussing. Yeah, it's username. The invitation code's the number 7, and then Trumpets Prepper should be Tess. All right. Yes, that's me. I'm wondering if doing bio cleanup from dead bodies is unbiblical. Well, here's the thing. I mean, once you do that, just cleanse yourself. I mean, because if somebody dies, your family member or whoever dies, I mean, and you bury them, obviously you're unclean, but just cleanse yourself. And that's the main thing, is just cleanse yourself after doing stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know if you work in the medical field where you're having to, stuff like that and everything. But I mean, the scripture is pretty clear on that. Just clean yourself up following, but I want that pure blood shirt, guys. I'm working on Abby getting that shirt available to you because I know everybody's wanting that. Now picking back up, we were talking about the schools and education. The next thing that we're going to talk about is government raised children. One more thing straight out of The Handmaid's Tale. I'm going to tell you guys, the reason I keep going in on that show is because I'm telling you the template of that show and that lady's book writing back in 1985, it's so close to right now. It's just so close to right now. I mean, matter of fact, it's so close to right now that even during Trump's presidency, ladies dressed in the Handmaid's Tale outfit to go up there and protest over the Roe v. Wade thing. And about Planned Parenthood and all that stuff, which we'll cover that tomorrow. I'm gonna dip on that just for a second tomorrow. But I'm just saying, this is getting crazy out here. When fiction starts imitating reality, or reality starts imitating fiction, you're in a bad spot, right? So with government raised children, I mean, just like in the Handmaid's Tale, they took the children away from other people's families, gave them to other families inside Gilead, the Republic of Gilead, and they had them raise them. And just real quickly to answer coroner's takes the body and I'd come later to clean. I won't touch bodies and have to wear Tyvek suit and gloves. So is that okay? As long as you're not touching that, I think sis, you'd be fine. It just the important thing is anytime we're around uncleanliness, just like when a lady has her cycle, when you've touched dead bodies. I mean, there's just a lot of things whenever when people's had intimacy, things like that, we should cleanse ourselves according to scripture, following. But anyway, moving on, taking the children away right now, the thing is that we all have the freedom that, I mean, if somebody wants to raise their child up to be a Wiccan, you can live that Wiccan lifestyle. If you want to be a servant of Most High Yah, keep the Torah, you can serve Most High Yah, keep the Torah. But when you come on down the line, if the government decides eventually to have everybody do, what the government says, and you're not online for that, they'll just come take your children. And this is important because, it's not important to me, but it's important to them that they do this because they want to make sure that the government ideology is impressed upon them. And just like the children that God took away from their families within just a matter of 4 or 5 years in Gilead, they were already impressed upon them to love that government. And that is very scary. And keep in mind, children are very impressionable too. All right, because what scriptures say, train a child up in the way shall go, and when they become an adult, shall not depart from that, right? And I'm just summarizing that. Read the actual scripture exact text, but I'm just summarizing. That's where that ends up. All right, and then Internet of Things, everything hooked to 5G monitoring. Now, here's the deal. I've wondered, it's amazing. Y'all is so good to us servants. As we continue to investigate, Hercule Poirot or Sherlock Holmes style investigating, and you just keep obsessive compulsive investigating things, you figure out with time what in the world is up, right? And it's like, why does everything need to be 5G? 5G TVs, 5G phone, 5G this, 5G that. And then this light bulb goes off. And if you go watch that video over on Odyssey that they pulled from YouTube here and gave me a strike for, you'll find out that the blank thing that they're going to put into said body, and then later trigger with 5G with pulses at a certain hertz for a certain amount of time, then causes said thing to happen, which turns said person into zombie, which turns into zombie apocalypse, right? And so the 5G thing starts becoming a lot clearer to me because that is the tool in which activates what's already been put into people into action. And I hope I said that in enough blanket statement and parable that I won't get another freaking strike on here, okay? Because you tell the truth anymore. I really am to the point where I believe that I could come on here and share adult film content. I could curse. I think I could even do an act of murder and the content wouldn't get pulled. But if I talk about the Most High Yah or warn people about the end days and tell people to keep their blood pure, that video will be gone like that. Tell me I'm lying. Somebody in the comments tell me I'm lying because it sure don't seem like that. All right. So anyway, let's see. The public indoctrination camps are battling the parents for control of the minds and souls of our children, keep them out of the so-called public school system. Yeah, and listen, I'm not being a hypocrite here. I got my son was raised homeschool. My daughter that is 5 months old, guess what? She's going to be homeschooled, y'all willing. I am not sending my child to public school indoctrination camp. I hated school. All right. And it was because that you see all these agendas being pushed upon you. And now looking back, oh my gosh, if I had the understanding and the wisdom that I have now and go back to school when I was 15, I'd been kicked out of school. I'd absolutely just been kicked out of school. No doubt about it. Because I'd have just called it right there on the carpet. In science class about flat earth, in politics about politics, in medical class about medical thing. I mean, I've just been all over it. Oh, anyway, moving on, guys, I don't want to run too long tonight. I'm sorry. I'm getting way deep on some of these. This is why I didn't have a massive slideshow tonight. I just stayed focused on the bullet points. The next thing we have is implementation of a world social credit system. Something that was really shocking to me, and I just learned this in recent years, is that how we have like a credit system here in America that doesn't work like that the rest of the world. That's just like an American thing. Other places you go, you get a loan, you go on about your life, build a home, blah, 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 blah. We have a crazy, weird credit system here. And if they do the social credit system like that has been implemented and tested in China, that is a dumpster fire. All right. And I'm telling you, it's going to be nuts to see that implemented later down the road, because just seeing what's going on with China is already nuts. Now, this one here, Microchip Society for Trade, Travel, Tracking, and Control. The microchip thing, I'm not completely ruled it off the table. I think that they're going to do that with nanotech now instead of microchip. I think they're getting a lot smarter about how they're going. And Master, y'all, please help. I know, guys, it is a struggle with children in schools. It is that one is because listen, they spend 8-10 hours a day with them. You see your child for an hour, 2 hours a day at best after you come in, worked all day at some 9-to-5 slave job. And then you're trying to undo what they've indoctrinated your child for years and days and months. It's insanity. I know. All right. But now getting people marked, all right, like I've said with End Time and with Blade Runner and this dystopian cyberpunk society that we are moving into, dystopian future that we're already moving into. This is something we have to understand. It's going to go down. And as I've talked about in the Paleo Hebrew, if you look at the drawing of the hand and then you have the hand come on up and then part of the arm, that's all one piece, right? And so when you see this microchipping and all that they're trying to do and everything, you need to understand that this is an agenda that they will keep working at and keep working at until it is put into place. All right. I want everybody to understand that. All right. And I'm not going to go into too much of that because I think everybody that's in this building tonight that's listening to the sound of my voice is on point. That bullet point's been discussed for years. Like, that should not come as a shock to anybody that one right there, they want to track everybody and everything they do. All right. And of course, like Bill Gates wants to have your money and in the cloud and all that connected to that quantum dot tattoo and all that stuff. So, I mean, this is nothing new. All right. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that one. Moving on up, we have universal basic income, austerity. Now, here's the problem. I don't want nobody handing me $1. I will earn my dollar, okay, educating people or working on the job site, all right? I don't need to beg nobody for nothing. I'm not about that business. And when you start letting Uncle Sam decide how much you need, you might as well start handing out food stamp rations and little coupon rations about what they can go and buy at the store, all right? Because they want to eventually reduce everyone to the point where that, if you don't have money, you can't fight the system. And if the system controls the money, the system controls you. All right. And that's why also cryptocurrency, people's like cryptocurrency, market of the beast, blah. And I'm like, dude, do you know how much stuff I bought with cryptocurrency on the down low and nobody knows nothing about it? I'm like, don't come at me about crypto. I mean, listen, love everybody on here, not trying to sound high and mighty, but if you want to come at me about cryptocurrency, you're just fighting the wrong person, because I'm like a stone wall, iron fortress when it comes to that. I just don't care. Listen, I have paid bills. There's a pistol that's right across from me right now I bought with mining cryptocurrency. All right. So that is something. I took something inanimate and I turned it into something tangible that I can actually protect an animate object later down the road. So please don't preach to me about that. You ain't going to reach me on that one. And anyway, it's a means to an end. Like, I'm going to cash it all out, buy preps one day and let the market fall through. Okay. Like, it's not for everything. It is it's one of those things I'm trying to use as a parallel society right now. I mean, that's what that is. All right. So anyway, moving on, endless mandatory vaccines. Now, this should not be a shock to everyone, especially with the Rockefeller leaks about that, where they had that telling biotech companies and stuff that there's so much money to be made off of vaccinations. And I said vaccines on here. I said it again. The pokes. Endless mandatory pokes. That's what they're wanting to do next. And that is to compromise the immune system and, kill you eventually and depopulate. It's real simple. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all seen this. Speaking of abortions and all that crazy stuff, if you did not see the miscarriage statistics that happened from after people taking the snake bite, oh my word, folks, it was out of the roof, the miscarriages that happened. And here's what I worry about. and I hate this so bad for these ladies, is it's not just that child I worry about them losing. It's the next one and the next one and the next one. Because if they can make seeds in fruits not appear, they can also destroy the seed that's within a man, and the ability to maintain it in a woman and grow into a life form. I mean, this is scary stuff. So, through the pokes, the next thing is depopulation, control population growth and density. And I mean that's been written on the Georgia Godstones. Okay, that's been written in the New World Order's commands on the wall for a long minute. All right, I think that's been written on stone longer than I've been alive. All right, so I'm just saying, like, that should not come as a shock to anybody either. All right, and yeah, oh yeah, right here. Seriously, I can't imagine the miscarriages. They're already were bad now. Oh man, facts. And once again, guys, that's right out of that Handmaid's Tale show. I'm serious. It's scary, dude. Like, and that book was written in 1985. And this stuff that's going on this Agenda 21, 2030 thing right here is straight out of the book of 1984 on most of that stuff. But I'm going to look over here real quick and see where we're at on the poll. So far, the poll vote is up. We have 97 votes, and 18% says 1 year, 29% says 5 years, 10 said, or let's see, we're at 47% for sure. That is, pretty much everybody says that. Almost everyone's on 50% almost is saying that we're already here at the New World Order. So that's where the poll stands right now. And Sandy, I hope that we can all pray over that. And what would make my day is I would love that the prayer that went up from us, that literally the Most High send an earthquake right there and just consume that place. Like there just be a sinkhole open up that day and just consume that whole thing. That would make me so happy. And I think about when Korah withstood against Moshe, and Moshe went and stood in front of Korah's tent and his family there and everyone. And he said, what was it? I'm just trying to summarize, but he said that if the Most High Yah does a new thing this day, then he'll know that he was with me. And the ground opened up and consumed them all. And it was just, and then it closed up after them, I believe. And that is what I would love to see happen at Georgia Godstones. And I thought about this too, is when the world does fall apart. Now, I don't know if anybody's out here listening to the sound of my voice on this, and I'm not encouraging to go out and do any property damage, with the exception of at that place should the world fall apart, is that if you're in the oil and gas drilling business or research and development tech, is that there was an individual that he was actually looking for natural gas and oil and all that. And he actually set the testing equipment to the wrong frequency, and it was actually set to the same frequency the Earth resonates on. It triggered a massive earthquake in that area where that he was testing for natural gas and oil. And I was like, man, would that not be awesome if somebody went out there and stuck that test probe in the ground right there where the Georgia Godstones was and turned that on, shook them suckers to the ground? That would make my whole day. But I don't know how to do that. I'm a installer for photovoltaic and wind turbines, and I shouldn't even be encouraged this, but hey, for somebody out there that has knowledge, wire it out, bro. Wire it out. Man. Anyway, all right, guys, y'all gonna have I'm gonna have to have a moderator to come in here and moderate me before YouTube ends up moderating me sometimes. Anyway, oh, here we go. Is that it? Is that it right there? 7.83 hertz. Okay. All right. So next up, got sidetracked there, guys. We're gonna wind this down. Next up is the end of the family unit. All right, this is why so many agendas are being pushed for sodomy, homosexuality, transgenderism, all the gender dynamics. Let me see what else. There's non-binaries, all this crazy stuff that I just can't even begin to think of right now. Abortions, all that. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, this Roe versus Wade thing, I'm gonna flip y'all's minds tomorrow when I start breaking that down. Because y'all think some people's arguing about it good, some arguing bad. You just wait until I get into that tomorrow. That's gonna be a wild new moon day conversation. But anyway, the end of the family unit. Yes, I'd love to see them fall like dominoes. Absolutely, me too, Sandy. All praise Most High Yah. That would just make my day. All praise be unto Him. See, this things I want out of life, guys. People's over here like dreaming of being millionaires, and I'm over here dreaming. I'm like, man, I just wish them Godstones fall down. Y'all see where my heart's at? Anyway, the end of the family unit, they do not want the nuclear family to be what it is, because here's the thing: when you have a strong husband, you have a very feminine wife, and you have children that are raised properly, especially to think for themselves, be fully autonomous. That is a danger to the state and to this rising fascist government that we live under. I'm going to tell you what, folks, we're in an interesting time where you don't see it yet, but America is actually going to become a fascist machine. And I just, I don't know what it's going to take to wake people up, but that is actually where we're headed. And shout out to you, Cindy. That's another good one. Funny how the reversal of Roe versus Wade made women realize that they were women again. I know, it's like, it's awesome. We've all of a sudden solved some of these gender dynamics. It's like, I know I'm a man, and apparently now a bunch of women know they're women. So I mean, like, you know, it's crazy how like all this anatomy problems got solved, you know, here just in the recent week. I mean, man, shout out to that. But next up, we have end all privately owned property except some elites. And that's the important thing to understand, is because at the end of the day, nobody needs to be in property ownership if the state is to operate in its proper fascist order. Because when people actually do own property, when the people have the ability to be fully autonomous, that's a danger to the government. Okay. And I just I don't know. I don't know what to say more to that at the end of the day, because I mean, that's what it's about. That's what that bullet point's about, because it's not about that anybody cares if you own something. The problem is once that you do own property, it gives you the ability to be autonomous. It gives you the ability to have finances. It gives you the ability to grow crops. It gives you the ability to have base operations and be a free individual. All right. Next up is the end of national sovereignty. Now, this one's important because you got to understand that most corporations nowadays own America. And, you know, long and short of it, when you really investigate about it, the boundaries of our nations are really being eroded, and not just America, like lots of countries. And actually, I want to pause just a second. I've seen a comment filter here. JD Israel, shout out to you, brother. I know you've been in the house a long time, followed the channel a long time. Said, Lucas, what do you think they will try to do to independent communities? Guys, I'm actually setting up an interview with the president of Malaysia, which is a micronation that is actually located in Nevada. And I think it's been a micronation since the 70s. And actually, people might laugh at that. But the thing is, if I can get that interview on here on the stream, and now that will actually be privately streamed, and then I'm going to actually then post it public to YouTube, y'all willing. But the format in which they've set up that micronation, and there's actually multiple micronations throughout the world, is that if you can follow that template, they don't pay taxes. They are their own independent nation, just like the native nations that are located, tribal nations inside the United States of America. When you actually start looking into it, there's ways you can go about that. But ultimately, I mean, once this machine, this beast machine that the scripture describes in Revelation, once that gets in motion, I mean, they're going to just crush anything and anyone that stands in their way, and especially those of us that love and serve the Most High Yah, if they can. All right, next up is one, I don't want to say global because I'm a flat earther and I know the truth. So I'm just going to say a one world military. Now this, I believe, will come to pass. And I'll tell you when all this is going to get eroded away is the trigger laws. Yeah, Nick, I'm going to cover on some of this stuff tomorrow. Yeah, I really don't want to dip into that until tomorrow, because I just pop into building tomorrow at noon. We're going to get into it. But the one world military, the international sovereignty. Okay. This has to take place because the demonic alien invasion garbage stuff that's going to go on later. And I say garbage is like, because I don't know if it's going to be like a fake put on alien invasion, or we're really going to have like demons posing as aliens, especially sometime probably around the fifth trumpet when it starts sounding. I don't know what we're looking at with that, but like, Reagan was pretty much like, it's amazing how fast that the world would come together if an alien invasion happened or whatever, right? And I think it was him and Gorbachev that had a discussion about that long ago, and they were like, oh yeah, I'd come to your aid and he'd come to theirs, but right now they can't get along. It's just nonsense. But that would probably trigger that to be given the full go, and you'll see the blue helmets for sure at that point. The next thing is a one world central bank. I mean, I think that is already pretty much there. I don't think we really need to talk too much about that one. One world controlled cashless currency. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the crypto market in the future. I think crypto's here to stay, but I think that in America, it's going to be squeezed for a long time because the New World Order doesn't need this free nation to have an ability to run a parallel society. And crypto, for me, is my parallel society. If somebody asked me right now, what's the number one way you'd want me to pay them to pay me, I'd say, please pay me Monero, Pirate, Cash, or Pirate Coin, Monero, Zcash. I'll take it all day, every day. I mean, I'd take that over the dollar bill right now. Matter of fact, I'll give you a discount and take that instead of cash. That's how much I'm sold into the crypto right now. But, like, you got to understand that eventually they're going to try to shut that down. And the other thing is that is already a cashless currency, right? And, I'm going to try to approach this with kid gloves because I know people getting their feels about it, but it's like silver and gold. Yeah, is grand. The dollar bill used to be, where it was at, but now that is moved away to the point where that, the only way to really beat this thing right now, as I had to say, it's decentralized private crypto. And they want to eventually, though, eradicate that, I know, to the point where it'll just be government digital money. And if they don't like what you're doing, they'll just make your account show zeros. I mean, it's not rocket science. If you want rocket science and fakery and CGI and all that, you go see NASA for that. Okay, that's where they deal in lies. But with the cash society, I mean, that's where that's going to head, no doubt about it. And lastly, we will have a one world government. And so, when you go to the courts and all that deal and stuff, you're not dealing with American sovereign law. You're not dealing with the Constitution anymore. You're not dealing with a free state and a republic. You're dealing with the beast. All right. And it's just like Klaus Schwab said there. I have it on the bottom of that thing there. You will own nothing and be happy. I won't be happy about it. But at the end of the day, that's the mentality they want everybody to have. And it's just, this list is painful to look at because ultimately at the end of the day, they're going to do everything. You got to understand something. When you read stuff like this, these people don't think in days and years. They think in decades. They think in generations. Okay. So this stuff a lot of this has been slowly chipped away at the stone for a long time. And when they can finally get to the point where that they take everything away from us, it's going to be like that TikTok. I think there was a TikTok video and it showed the crawdad, and they laid it on a pan and they had it where it could slide off into the water. But no, what the crawdad didn't see, I guess, is they had the water boiling, but it wasn't like bubbling, boiling. I don't know how to say it. It was just like right at that point. And so the crawdad ran and slid off into it, and then all of a sudden it just started frying and it couldn't get back out. And that's where that we're moving toward right now, is a lot of people are like that crawdad effect, that they're running toward it, and they're so far moving on their feet right now that by the time they try to stop, they're just going to slide right on in it and get baked. And some of these things, like I just look back, like at the middle of the list, the 5G. I remember when everything was locked down and I was defiant, and I still got out and went to town and done a lot of things. And as I was driving by, I seen all the 5G equipment being put in, and all that stuff. And I was just like, man, there's something up with this, because it's like everything's on lockdown. All these tech people are out here putting all this 5G in. Just crazy. And Omar Gibson said, and to help shape the one world beast system of a new world order, and to help put fear in humans to get them to give in to things they want them to give into. Yeah, I mean, all this is to put if you look at all that, like most of it is to put squeeze on people in order to have nothing left but to turn to the government. And keep in mind, Brother Joel just educated me on that. I was 36 years old, years old, or whatever, when I learned this, is that he was sharing this thing while we were driving to California, is that it's real important to understand that people, when they're being pushed to buy into a certain agenda, the most important thing to do is give them conflicting information, and then have the government step in with the answer. And we've already seen this play out once with the snake bite being handed out. And moving forward, you give people conflicting information on a lot of these topic bullet points that they're working toward, and then provide a government solution or a new world order, whole worldwide solution. You will have a lot of different results shake out, but one of the results will be that everybody will give in for the most part. And, it's nuts, and I hate it. Somebody said, around here during the pandemic, house arrest, 5G. Yeah, 5G popped up everywhere. It did. It popped up all around here too. And you need to, print this list, screenshot this, keep these things in mind, because as time progresses, as you see things pop up in the news, this is the stuff they're working toward. And it's going to be a wild, wild ride, folks. I mean, we are in the wild, wild west 2.0 right now. But I hope everybody's enjoyed that. And I hope what I've said is a help to you. I've wanted to cover this. I actually had this saved for quite some time, and have wanted to go over this. And I thought, this is a good time coming up. We're about 30 days out from, I'm going down to the Georgia Godstones to do that little mini documentary. And I thought this is a great opportunity to pop in, and discuss this with everyone. And, ultimately at the end of the day, Messiah's going to come back. New kingdom's going to come down. This evil beast system is going to be destroyed, and all's going to be well. So don't let this stuff bother you, guys. I know it's hard not to, but don't let your heart be troubled on this. All right. So I'm going to hang out here. I'm going to actually get a drink of water, guys. And then I'm going to read some of these comments here, and then I'm going to jump out of here and get some rest, because I'll be back up in here with you at 12 Eastern time tomorrow, and we're going to be discussing Roe versus Wade. All right. Let's see what it says here. The truth really makes some people mad, those people mad. And well, I think it's like the Matrix movie, is that it's like these people have been indoctrinated for so long, and so long part of a system, that they will fight to uphold that system because they don't know anything other than that. And thank you so much, brother. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. And somebody said, I'll sacrifice all. Absolutely. At this point, here's the thing. And it's like my default mode setting I go back to anymore, is that I don't have anywhere else to turn. Like, I either serve the Most High Yah and I enter the kingdom, or I don't enter the kingdom, but I cannot serve Satan's kingdom. And I'll have to disagree with you on that comment there. Crypto will be the death of all that holds it. I have literally turned that into so many things that can actually be a help to me whenever the time comes. And I can go down the stairs and flip the switch off at any time. And furthermore, as soon as I am off grid, this new off grid setup that I'm setting up here at the farm, I can actually run my crypto mining 100%, y'all willing, a good chunk of it off grid constantly. So it doesn't matter if the market's up or down, and I can sell those coins off immediately and turn that into food or firearms or first aid, lots of different things. So, I mean, I have to disagree with you on that one. Let's see. Leaving the Matrix scares people but pray that they will see the truth. Absolutely. It is painful. Let's see. Somebody said, hold on. Off topic. Can the plumbing be accessed in the cradle box under the kitchen sink and the bathroom? Yes, the plumbing can be under the sink, and yes, I believe it can in the bathroom as well, Nick. Given over to a reprobate mind because they have no love of the truth. Absolutely. Yeah. What is that? 2 Thessalonians, I believe it is, that because they received not the love of the truth, they were given over to a reprobate mind. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and pop out of here. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Make sure to come back in tomorrow at noon. Like I said, I will actually pull it up right here on the brand tab. Where's it at? Right here, tomorrow's show will be covering Roe versus Wade and what's really going on in the background with that. Because I promise you, the government didn't all of a sudden grow a conscience overnight. So there's a lot more going on in the background with that than is being led on. I promise you that. Just bear with me and let me sell you my pitch on what I think is actually going on currently. So, guys, as always, till we see you again here, Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel. Hope the Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name.